know that? Ronald Reagan once said, in this time of crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government
is the problem.
Is the problem. And an overreaching government with excessive regulations, excessive taxation, the second highest level of taxation in the free world. How can business owners thrive? How can business owners invest when they don't know what's coming? We're about to get rid of the Bush tax cuts in January 2011. The rate is going to go up to 20%. 1 out of every $5 in a business is going to go to the federal government. 1 out of every $5. So if 20% of your revenue is taken, cream off the top. That leaves the other 80%. Operating expenses, salaries, wages, inventory. What's that going to do to your profit margin? It's going to shrink. If you have a business that does okay, they have a margin of about 10%. Now, if you had a business that had yourself and 3 employees, and you did $1 million worth of business, and your margins are 10%, that means you have $100,000 to pay yourself and 3 others. So then look at that. What if your margins shrink to 5%? If your margins shrink to 5%, you need to do $2 million worth of business in order to have the same amount to pass out. Folks, we're in trouble. And the government is not helping. In these overreaching regulations, it seems like we're penalizing the entrepreneurs, the ones who take the risk. That's going to change when we have a new Congress in 2011, January. We may be down, but we're not out. Don't lose heart. Don't lose hope. But excessive regulations, excessive taxation, bureaucratic mess, and not only that, you have other factors like the Environmental Protection Agency that really does not make law technically, but in actuality it does make law when it comes with these regulations you have to comply with. That's just going to be more bureaucracy, more red tape, more frustration. There are individuals who want to be in compliance with the government, and the government takes a long period of time to come and do the inspection or do whatever it takes so that they can continue on and run their business. That's got to change, folks. So we really want to do things that will revitalize jobs, and even in the financial sector, when the government overreaches, it puts constraints on those financial institutions that lend out the money. All the regulations are such that people don't know where to invest their money. There are people that have businesses that say, I am not going to invest right now because I don't know what's coming. There are people that have the money to invest now that will not invest because they don't know what to expect. That's got to change. And it will change. But we've got to get the right people in office that are going to represent the interests of our constituents. So revitalizing jobs in the economy will be when the government gets out of the way and enables the free markets to flourish. The free markets didn't fail. Government intervention in the free markets caused the chaos, and that's what we have to guard against and move against. Right. The second thing, reducing the size of government. I used this illustration before. I'll use it again. I am not a proponent of across-the-board cuts in government, but I do believe that wherever waste and inefficiency exists, we need to get rid of that business, or that government agency, I should say. Let's say that you have 4 companies, 1, A, B, C, and D. 4 CEOs representing 4 companies, and then I'm going to take this private industry and translate it to the public sector. Let's say that this company has a CEO that happened to be someone that inherited an electronics store that sold hi-fis, phonographs, cassette tapes. And they, in their day, they were the best in the industry. How many of you remember, you're going to give away your age, but how many of you remember that real quality color television, Curtis Mathis? Anybody remember Curtis Mathis? Okay. Curtis Mathis is not #1 now. They're out of business. But you have some companies that don't change with the times, and they remember in their day, and they didn't divest. See, you have invest, and you have divest, where you get away from something and go into something else. Well, they didn't divest from cassettes. They made the best cassettes and still make the best cassettes going. They didn't see, or they saw, but they didn't react to Blu-ray, MP3, digital, everything else. You still make the best cassettes and sell the best cassettes on the planet.
But nobody has a point.
No surprise, he's in the red. We don't even know how he keeps his lights on. You had this business that saw the change coming, divested from the old technology, got into Blu-ray, started selling Apple computers, started having classes that teach the consumers about the different things in the electronics world, sends out newsgrams periodically, have maintenance technicians that are just professional and on top of it. And their pricing is extremely competitive. Customer service is second to none. No surprise, they are a leader in their industry. And companies B and C are somewhere in between excellence and the dinosaur. Now, let's say that these 4 were government agencies.
Fund him more. He needs more money.
Yeah.
He needs more money.
Well, let's say that we have funding that has to be cut. And I go as a legislator and I say, okay, these 4 agencies, we're going to have a 25% across the board cut. Is there anything wrong with that picture?
Yes.
The expression goes, this one getting a 25% cut is a 75% pass.
That's right.
This one probably needs to get a 100% cut.
Right.
I don't mean to use you as a... You're probably outstanding anyway, so... But this agency, with this excellence, may be performing at a level where we not only want to maintain where they are, we may want to increase staffing, give more bonuses to the supervisors and everything to reward excellence. Do you all understand that? So there are some government agencies, if you could find a government agency outside of the military, and I can't think of one, by the way, that's performing at that level. I'm telling you right now, when I go to D.C., I am going to be their strongest advocate for continuing that level of excellence. However, if I think that it exists, I'll be in la-la land and I'll be looking for a long time.